Motivation isn't serving you like you think it is. Too many people need to feel motivated in order to chase their dreams or accomplish their goals. But let me ask you this. What happens when you're not motivated? Do you still get to work and do what needs to be done, or do you just quit? Do you have systems in place so that when you're not motivated, you are still working on your goals? In this video, I'm breaking down the differences between motivation and discipline, how to use each one correctly, and why motivation alone will never get you where you want to be. By the end, I'll reveal strategies that truly work on how to leverage discipline and motivation so you know exactly how to overcome any obstacle and conquer every goal you have. You're watching Rocky, right? The theme music is playing, he's running up the 72 steps of the art museum. He finally makes it to the top, he throws his hands up, he's celebrating. You're sitting there watching this thinking, damn, I want to be like that too. Or I want to be a champion, or I want to be fit, or insert whatever goal you have. That right there is motivation, an emotionally driven response that makes you want to do something or accomplish a specific goal. But here's the reality. It's an emotion. Just like every other emotion, over time the intensity fades and you find yourself back in neutral. Discipline, on the other hand, is what keeps you going when motivation disappears, which 10 times out of 10, it will. Self-discipline is defined as the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it. Bro. That means discipline doesn't care about how you feel. With self-discipline, you do what needs to be done to obtain a specific outcome, not because you're excited or enthusiastic about the idea in the moment. Self-discipline requires self-control in all aspects, emotional, mental, physical. Now, don't get it confused. That doesn't mean you're being motivated all the time. It means putting in the work despite the presence of motivation. 99% of all people who realize their dreams did so by doing the same boring, hard shit day in and day out until it finally paid off. Motivation fails because it's emotional. It's tied to how you feel in that moment. That's why it's unreliable. Emotions change like the direction of the wind. You can wake up one day feeling on top of the world, ready to achieve whatever goals you have, and the next, you might not even want to get out of bed. Motivation is extremely hard to summon at will, especially when your mind is working against you. Your subconscious mind intentionally tries to sabotage you because it's programmed to seek comfort. Your mind doesn't want to be stressed or strained or made uncomfortable or forced to work. Your subconscious mind always looks for the easiest way out, the comfortable thing. If you rely strictly on motivation while that weak voice in the back of your head is conjuring up excuses and trying to avoid the hard work, how successful do you think you'll be at shutting it up if you're sitting around waiting for inspiration? Discipline, however, is the glue. It's about doing the ordinary tasks consistently, even when it feels like you're getting nowhere. Here, you're not relying on emotions or motivation. You're simply relying on your routine, habits, and work ethic. You're relying on yourself, the work and belief you have that you can pull this off. Over time, your growth won't come from these big flashy moments. It'll come from small actions you took every single day to make it happen. It's the times you set your alarm for 4 a.m. You didn't get enough sleep. You could have hit snooze, but you didn't. The times you came home from work drained, but you still put in time for the side business. The times you want to skip the gym because you don't feel like going, but you go anyway. And the times they tell you to give up, but you keep going. Discipline and consistency are like two hands that wash the other. Discipline builds consistency, consistency builds discipline. Over time, when you stick to the plan, even when it's hard, your growth becomes exponential, meaning you work, and you don't see any results. You work, and work some more, and you still don't see results. You work more, refusing to quit, and then boom. Right when you thought you weren't getting anywhere, all of a sudden opportunity presents itself, and you're able to reap the rewards of all of your hard work. Now, I know I've been dissing motivation this whole time, but it has its place and it's definitely not useless. Motivation's that spark, the fuel that gets the engine running, but it's not the engine. Discipline is what keeps the engine running once that spark fades. Motivation is super powerful. It's that initial influence on your mind that forces you to want to make a change. Motivation can come from someone that inspires you, someone you want to emulate or be like, or it can come from a position in life you want to achieve or even avoid, like poverty. Long story short, motivation can come in any form, and it's really powerful when you couple it with a burning desire. Usually this means you can't stop thinking about that goal or that dream. It's always itching the back of your brain and bothering you to the point of action. But the trap is relying solely on that immediate adrenaline rush you feel when the inspiration hits, that people forget motivation disappears the moment obstacles surface. By now you're probably thinking, okay, Demir, that's cool, but how exactly do I build discipline? How do I conquer my own mind, especially when I've mastered self-sabotage? Well, your brain's a muscle, literally, and to build discipline or any other character trait is like working out a muscle. The more you train it, the more you use it, the stronger and more resilient it becomes. So if we're discussing how to accomplish a specific goal, no matter how big or how small, first, identify exactly what your goals are and make them clear and sound. Your goal's non-negotiable. You have officially decided you won't accept failure, defeat, or for damn sure, quitting. Second, you should have a strong why behind everything you do. A weak or ambiguous why will most likely lead you to fizzle out because the goal didn't matter enough to you. Your why truly needs to be the backbone of your goal. This is associated with a super strong sense of desire, and it needs to feel like you need to pull this off. Third, make a plan for your goals. This is the part where people think they can just jump into whatever they want to do and it'll be smooth sailing. No, you need to truly understand that this is going to get hard. You'll have road bumps and failures along the road, but you'll see the plan to the end. And sometimes making adjustments to the plan is a part of the plan. You ever heard of SMART goals? Specific, measurable, relevant, and time constrained? That means your goals have to be specific, focused, and honed in on. It can't be some BS like, oh, I want to lose weight. No, I want to lose 20 pounds in 4 months. That example is perfect. You can measure it, it's specific, it's realistic, obtainable, and you gave yourself an expiration date so you can't procrastinate on it. And fourth, start simple, start easy. If you've never been disciplined in your life, you've lived your whole life up until this point doing whatever you wanted. If it felt too hard or uncomfortable, you quit. It's not too late to start. If your goal is to lose weight and put on muscle, for example, don't start going to the gym 6 days a week and training to failure. You won't last. Start with 2 days of good effort, progress to 3, progress to 4, or however many days you can maintain consistently. As you build your routine, increase the workout intensity, and over time, those small habits stack up and turn into discipline. This method's not applicable to just the gym, but whatever goal you have. And the most important piece of advice is just start. The key is to literally start now. The longer you put it off, the more likely you'll never even begin. Then you can slow dance with regret for the rest of your miserable life because you kept putting it off. Imagine if you started something 5 years ago, working on it little by little, day by day, improving. How far ahead would you be today? Instead, you didn't, and here you are, in the same exact spot you were in last year or even a few years ago. If you don't start today, at least mark it on your calendar so in a few years from now, when you do reflect back on why you still aren't where you wish you were, at least you'll know the exact date when you could have taken action and made a positive change, but you decided not to. When you feel like quitting, self-discipline matters the most. It's easy to do the work when you feel motivated, but what about when you're tired, stressed, or just don't feel like it? That's where discipline overrides your subconscious mind and your true character shows. Are you a man of your word or are you all talk? When you understand the cold hard truth now, it won't faze you later when you personally experience this. Nobody cares about how you feel. Nobody cares about your excuses. When you have deadlines, people rely on you. They expect you to pull through. Nobody cares you weren't in the mood. Remember Jordan in the 97 finals? The man had 103-degree fever and still played, and the Bulls won the championship. What do you think would have happened had he not played? Do you think anybody would have cared that he had a cold or a flu or he wasn't feeling good? His team needed him to perform, and he did that in their most important moments, and they reaped the rewards. Remember, while you decided to skip out on whatever tasks were going to push you closer to your goals, somebody else is out there working relentlessly. So to wrap this up, what can you do to build more discipline? Start small and start now. Set clear, non-negotiable goals, remove distractions, and learn to say no to everything that does not serve you, your goal, or your purpose. Learn to say no to yourself and your impulses even, and that is hard to do. And above all, show up for yourself every day. Make a promise to yourself, refuse to break it. Motivation will set things in motion, but only discipline will lead you to that finish line. If you liked this video and got something useful out of it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it to somebody who could benefit. Remember, never stop, never settle. Let's go.